gonna get bad now.
This is gonna get bad now.
You pay your money?
I paid more than, but
That hit him right there, that got him started.
no, I just want to start out by saying thank you to everybody that's standing out here, because it means a lot to see all you guys understand that you need to be here today. It means a lot to me to look at everybody that's here today, and you guys are here because you know you need to be here, because you want to be here. There's a lot of guys who could have been here and aren't. There's a lot of guys who should have been here and didn't think they should have been here, you know, and they missed the opportunity of a lifetime, and you're here and you got to experience that. And, you know, I want to say thank you to each and every one of you. And I, of course, want to say thank you to Terry Funk, who came to Union, South Carolina from Amarillo. Thank you. Thank you. And I want to say thank you, of course, to my brother, Manny Fernandez. You see, I've always been a pro wrestling fan before I could talk. My dad would have wrestling on TV, and I watched it. And the best match, I used to go to Spartanburg, I used to go to Greenville. You know, we would go and we would watch, and the best match I ever saw live was at Greenville Memorial Auditorium. I was sitting on the front row for my birthday. And it was Ric Flair and Terry Funk in the main event.
Oh, yeah.
1989.
1989, and I got to see that. And I remember seeing people in the crowd dressed up like Terry Funk, and I remember seeing people getting the same guys that were dressed up like him and thought they liked him. By the time the match was over, they were throwing popcorn, you know. And so that's why I love pro wrestling. I grew up my whole life with a love for pro wrestling. And then as I came up, they had pro wrestling here. I sold hot dogs in the concession stand so I could see. As I continued to grow up, and some people know what I'm talking about. And as
Sold hot dogs.
a little bit of a sold hot dogs. And then when the guys would come out and they'd have a chain around their neck, or they'd have a robe or something, I'd be 12 years old or 10 years old, and I'd go up there and I'd take it back to the dressing room because I wanted to get a peek in there. And somebody would get it from the door and tell me to go on back. I'd be looking in there trying to see what was going on back there. And then I met up with a fellow named Charlie Babb, who was as big a carny as you could find, but he was good to me and taught me a lot of stuff. And he's passed away, and he's from here in Union, and he introduced me to the other side of pro wrestling, behind that curtain. You know what I'm saying?
I'd steal money.
And I didn't keep that. I let that part go. But and then I became a wrestling manager after that, and I happened to run into Manny Fernandez, and that's been about 12 years ago. And I was managing Manny on a show, and I'd been thinking about wrestling, and at that time I was lifting weights and trying to get in shape and wanted to wrestle. And I asked Manny, "Would you be willing to train me?" And he said, "Yeah." Get in the car. Got in the car with him. And he trained me. He trained me in the ring. He trained me out of the ring. And it was a hell of a thing. And I was with him all that time, and that's why he calls me my brother, and I take pride in that. He calls me his brother, and I call him my brother. And he is my brother, and we are family. And I grew up, and my own family loved wrestling, and then I became a part of wrestling, and that became part of my own family. You guys treat my dad so good, and he's a part of this family. And now all of you out here, you're all a part of this family. So when I think about pro wrestling, I think my family. And yeah, I might get a little emotional about it because it is my family. Terry Funk, I feel like he's my family. He don't know it, but I feel like he's my family. Manny Fernandez is my family. I just met Jake James today. I feel like he's part of my family. Q-Ball Carmichael, he's part of my family. Chase Brown, Peter Casanova, Josh Powers, TK Starwalker, Craig Huffman. They're part of my family.
What about Dion?
Dion's part of my family. You're all part of my family. Anybody watching this that'll ever see this, you're part of my family. We're all family. And it means a lot to me, and the only reason I got this microphone and the only reason I wanted to hold it is because I wanted to let Terry Funk know, I wanted to let Manny Fernandez know, first of all.
But you're the best promo guy of all.
And I wanted to let everybody out there know that I sincerely, truly appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for getting it. Thank you. Thank you.